The 5 greatest K-pop movies ranked. It's official. K-pop is taking over the world. In this age of entertainment, it's become obvious that South Korea has become one of the biggest producers of media, giving the world everything from TV shows like Squid Game to K-pop sensations like BTS. With music playing a huge role in the country's culture, K-pop is the backbone of the nation. It's not just a matter of producing the most talented acts, it's also about cultivating a fandom culture that anyone from around the globe can relate to. With more and more K-pop groups making an impression on Western audiences, K-pop is living proof that music transcends language and culture. In celebration of the genre, here are the 5 best movies about K-pop. The Rise of K-pop, 2020. K-pop didn't happen overnight, and The Rise of K-pop sets out to show exactly how a once local genre from Seoul reshaped global pop culture. Once upon a time, specifically the 70s, Korean ballads known as trot and gayo dominated the local radio. It wasn't until the early 1990s that K-pop had its birth. With the debut of Seo Taiji and Boys in 1992, the group revolutionized Korean music with hip-hop, rap, and dance beats. The period also saw the birth of major entertainment agencies such as SM Entertainment, YG Entertainment, and JYP Entertainment, the same companies responsible for popular groups like SNSD, Blackpink, Twice, and more. The hour-long documentary compresses decades of K-pop's evolution, showing how it ultimately became the glossy artist machine that gave the world its favorite artists. Viewers get to see how elements like music, choreography, and fashion combine to define the genre. But underneath the pop flashiness, the documentary doesn't shy away from the rigorous system that produces these groups. It's also a crash course in how South Korea's entertainment industry transforms disciplined trainees into global idols. Fame truly comes with a price, but when there are thousands of fans ready to cheer them on, the hours of effort are all worth it. Blackpink, Light Up the Sky, 2020. Blackpink in your area. In 2016, 4 women from 4 different parts of the world traveled to South Korea to fulfill their dreams of becoming K-pop stars. At the time of this writing, Blackpink has garnered hundreds of millions of views on YouTube and Spotify, across both their group and solo acts, and has been featured in magazines such as Vogue and Rolling Stone, and has become the face of nearly every luxury fashion brand. But before all that happened, members Jisoo, Jennie, Rosé, and Lisa were bumbling trainees perfecting their craft from dawn till dusk. Covering 4 years since their debut, Blackpink Light Up the Sky introduces viewers to the industry that shaped Blackpink into one of the biggest modern acts. Despite the glamour that came with their job, sacrifices had to be made. From enduring rigorous long hours, facing harsh evaluations, and dealing with bouts of homesickness, the documentary shows a more vulnerable, personal side to its members. Fortunately, their efforts were not in vain. The film culminates in their iconic 2019 Coachella performance, a turning point in Blackpink's career as it introduced them to the global sphere. J-Hope in the Box, 2023. It takes a lot of hard work to be the first South Korean artist to headline Lollapalooza. Luckily for Jung Ho-sek, aka J-Hope, the BTS member knows a thing or two about making his dreams come true. J-Hope in the Box follows the 200 days leading to J-Hope's legendary festival step, capturing every step of his meticulous preparation. Since debuting in BTS in 2013, J-Hope has been famously known as the group's main dancer and rapper. These days, with the rest of BTS diving into their solo projects, J-Hope's doing the same, abandoning the comfort zone that is working in a group and finally coming out of the box. As one of the most decorated K-pop groups in the world, one may think that talent simply runs in them. But as J-Hope in the Box proves, even the most experienced of performers still run into their hurdles. In between the hours of relentless rehearsals, J-Hope still has to commit to his album launch, all while fighting the insecurities looming in his head. Viewers also get unprecedented access to his personal life, visiting his hometown of Gwangju and reflecting on the past 10 years that turned the small-town boy into a respected public figure. K-Pops, 2024. Anderson .Paak is many things: songwriter, drummer, and Grammy Award winner. With K-Pops, he can now add director to his CV. The K-pop-inspired family comedy follows BJ, Paak, whose once promising Los Angeles musician career has stalled. Chasing a comeback, he accepts a gig on a K-pop reality competition show in Seoul, only to discover that one of his contestants, Taeyoung, Sol Rashid, is his estranged son. Initially tempted to leverage Taeyoung's budding stardom for his own benefit, BJ is forced to confront what truly matters: fame or family. Inspired by the real-life father-son relationship, K-Pops comes across as a personal tribute to Paak's roots. Almost 10 years before he got the world listening to Leave the Door Open, Paak struggled financially as an aspiring musician. In between taking odd jobs and gig work to support himself and his growing family, Paak primarily worked as a session drummer for local bands in Oxnard and Los Angeles. The K-pop element in the movie is even more special considering how he's lived between two cultures throughout his life. Paak is of African American and Korean descent. K-Pop Demon Hunters, 2025. Be prepared to go up. K-Pop Demon Hunters is just as self-explanatory as its title. The Netflix fan favorite introduces Hunter X, a K-pop girl group that secretly belongs to a legendary lineage of demon hunters. Using the power of music, they create the Honmun, a protective field shielding humanity from demons and their soul-stealing king, Gui-ma. The newest trio, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, must craft the Golden Honmun, a permanent barrier to stop Gui-ma all for good. However, little do Mira and Zoe know, Rumi is secretly half human, half demon, making her the very target the group is sworn to destroy. K-Pop Demon Hunters is a true modern K-pop spectacle for many reasons. From the get-go, audiences are introduced to the fast-paced K-pop culture, arena shows, never-ending song launches, and even some competition from rival groups like the Soulja Boys. But the film also remembers its South Korean roots, with much of the demon lore adapted from local mythology. Inspired by the swagger of real-world K-pop groups like ITZY, TWICE, and Blackpink, the film's soundtrack is a real homage to the industry and its electrifying culture.